On this somber evening of May 21, 2025, at 8:03 p.m. Western Indonesian time, the city of Seoul whispers a tale of heartbreak that lingers in the air, touching the soul of Kim Taehyung of BTS. Stationed at a military camp in Yongkyeon, Taehyung, known for his soulful voice and tender heart, is grappling with a profound sadness that has haunted him for months. A wound inflicted not by his own trials, but by the unfair storm that has battered his beloved bandmate, Min Suga. The DUI incident that unfolded in August 2024, when Suga was found intoxicated after falling from an electric scooter near his Hanamdong residence, has left scars far deeper than the legal consequences it brought. With a blood alcohol concentration of 0.227%, well above South Korea's legal limit of 0.08%, Suga faced a fine of 15 million won, approximately 173 million Indonesian rupiah, after a summary indictment. Yet for Taehyung, the true pain lies in the cruel wave of misinformation and unjust demands that followed, a burden that weighs heavily on his heart as he nears his discharge on June 10, 2025. The incident itself was a moment of human error. Suga, the introspective genius behind BTS's rawest lyrics, had taken a late-night ride on his electric scooter, a decision that ended in a fall and a sobering realization. He admitted his mistake immediately, undergoing examination at a police station and issuing a heartfelt apology through Weverse, where he expressed deep regret to ARMY and the public. His accountability was clear. He accepted the fine with humility, a testament to his character. But the world's response was far from kind. Media outlets, hungry for sensationalism, spun a web of falsehoods that turned a personal lapse into a public ordeal. JTBC, a prominent broadcaster, aired a fabricated CCTV clip, claiming it showed Suga parking his scooter while intoxicated. The footage, later revealed to be unrelated and mismatched, was a blatant lie, earning JTBC a stern warning from the Korea Communication Standards Commission, KCSC. Other reports exaggerated Suga's alcohol levels and concocted fake interviews, painting a distorted image of a man who had already taken responsibility for his actions. For Taehyung, serving his country while this storm raged, the news hit like a tidal wave. Unable to be by Suga's side, he could only imagine the pain his Hyung endured as false narratives spread like wildfire. Taehyung, who shares a bond with Suga forged in late-night studio sessions and quiet moments of understanding, felt helpless. Friends close to the BTS members reveal that Taehyung has been deeply affected, often speaking of Suga with a tremor in his voice. "Hyung didn't deserve this," he reportedly said, his deep brown eyes reflecting a sorrow that cuts to the core. The image of Taehyung in his military uniform with a beret, standing in the quiet of his camp, thinking of Suga facing this ordeal alone, is enough to bring tears to any ARMY's eyes. Suga, the steady hand who guided BTS through their darkest days, who poured his soul into tracks like Interlude, Shadow and Daechwita, was now the target of a world that seemed to forget his humanity. What stings most is the unthinkable demand that emerged amidst the chaos, calls for Suga to leave BTS. Some misguided voices, amplified by the media's false reports, suggested that Suga, a cornerstone of the group's music and spirit, should be ousted from the family he helped build. This notion is nothing short of outrageous, a betrayal of everything BTS stands for. Suga, whose vulnerability in songs like The Last has inspired millions, whose resilience has carried BTS through countless challenges, and whose love for ARMY shines in every lyric, is irreplaceable. Taehyung, who has shared laughter, tears, and dreams with Suga since their trainee days, finds this idea unbearable. The thought of BTS without Suga is a wound too deep to fathom, a scar that Taehyung carries as he counts the days until he can stand by his Hyung once more. Suga's role in BTS isn't just as a rapper or producer. It's as a brother, a confidant, and a dreamer who dared to believe in a future where 7 boys could change the world. To demand his exit is to erase a piece of BTS's soul, a notion Taehyung cannot and will not accept. Taehyung's bond with Suga is a tapestry woven with shared memories, of late nights in the studio where Suga would play a new beat, his eyes lighting up as Taehyung hummed along, of quiet moments on tour when Suga would offer a reassuring pat on the back during Taehyung's moments of doubt, of shared laughter over silly inside jokes that only they understood. Suga, often seen as the stoic one, has always had a soft spot for Taehyung, his little brother, whose free spirit brought light to even the darkest days. Taehyung cherishes these moments, holding them close as a shield against the pain of seeing Suga unfairly judged. The thought of Suga, alone in the eye of this storm, apologizing when he deserved understanding, breaks Taehyung's spirit. He imagines Suga sitting in his studio, headphones on, pouring his pain into music, and Taehyung longs to be there, to offer a hug to remind Suga that he is enough. The media's role in this tragedy is a bitter truth. The KCSC's warning to JTBC for spreading fake footage, along with the exposure of fabricated interviews and exaggerated claims, has done little to undo the damage. Suga's reputation, built on years of dedication, was smeared by lies, leaving Taehyung and ARMY to grapple with the fallout. Taehyung, who once shared light-hearted moments with Suga, playful debates over music, shared glances during concerts, and quiet nights in the studio, now feels the weight of seeing his Hyung unfairly judged. The memory of Suga's apology, delivered with sincerity and a bowed head, haunts Taehyung, who knows that Suga deserved understanding, not condemnation. The world's harshness, amplified by false narratives, has left a mark that Taehyung cannot shake, a sorrow that lingers in the quiet moments of his military service. He imagines Suga's quiet strength, the way he'd mask his hurt with a small smile, and it only deepens Taehyung's resolve to stand by him when he returns. ARMY too feels the sting of this injustice. The chaos caused by the media's lies left fans reeling, torn between defending Suga and battling the confusion sown by misinformation. Social media became a battleground, with hashtags like #WeStandWithSuga and #SugaDeservesBetter trending as fans poured out their support. Suga made a mistake, but he owned it, one fan wrote on X. The world didn't need to make it worse with lies. Another shared a memory of Suga's speech at a 2020 concert, where he spoke of his struggles with mental health, adding, "He's given us so much. Why can't we give him grace?" The demand for Suga to leave BTS, a notion ARMY rejects outright, has only strengthened their resolve to stand by him, a sentiment Taehyung shares from afar. Fans have been sharing memories of Suga's impact, his raw honesty in First Love, his fierce determination in August D, and his quiet acts of kindness, like donating to charities without fanfare. These reminders of Suga's heart only deepen the regret that the world didn't offer him the compassion he deserved. Taehyung's recent reunion with Jimin on May 20th, where he offered comfort amidst tears in a military camp courtyard, reveals the depth of his longing to support his members. In that embrace, Taehyung likely thought of Suga, wishing he could offer the same solace to his Hyung. The image of Taehyung in his uniform holding Jimin close mirrors the protective love he feels for Suga, a love that transcends distance and hardship. Taehyung's heart aches at the thought of Suga facing this storm alone, his Hyung's quiet strength tested by a world that failed to see his worth. The upcoming Muju Film Festival screening of Love Wins All on June 6, where Taehyung's artistry with IU will be celebrated, offers a glimmer of light, but his thoughts remain with Suga, a constant presence in his mind. Taehyung dreams of the day he can hug Suga, to remind him that he is loved, that he is enough, that BTS is nothing without him. That Suga's resilience, despite the ordeal, is a beacon of hope. His apology, delivered with unwavering sincerity, and his acceptance of the fine reflect a man who faces his mistakes with grace. He is not the villain the media tried to paint, but a human who stumbled and rose again, a testament to his strength. Taehyung clings to this, a silent vow to stand by Suga when he returns. The demand for Suga to leave BTS, a call that ARMY and Taehyung find unacceptable, has only deepened their love for him. Suga's place in BTS is etched in stone, a truth that Taehyung holds dear as he prepares to rejoin the world. He imagines the future, BTS together again, Suga at the center, his laughter filling the studio as they create new music, a future where the scars of this ordeal are healed by love and understanding. As the world reflects, a collective regret emerges. Suga deserved compassion, not the harsh judgment amplified by lies. Taehyung's quiet pain, felt across the miles, mirrors the sorrow of fans who wish they could turn back time. The scar left by this unfair treatment will heal, but the lesson remains. Suga is a man who has given his all, and he deserves the world's kindness in return. Taehyung's love for his Hyung, a bond forged in music and shared struggles, will guide them forward, a promise of brighter days as they reunite as seven once more. The world may have faltered, but Taehyung and ARMY will not. They will stand by Suga, now and always, a testament to the power of love in the face of injustice.